Okay guys, here we are. We're going to sit down and take a little bit of a closer look to this Haley strategic light mount. I think part of the genius behind this thing is that, well, first of all, it's made of really good quality stuff. This is T6 billet aluminum. It's been hard anodized coated. It's super lightweight, even though technically it's like a three-piece design here. It only weighs, like, I think it's 1.7 ounces, so you're not going to add a lot of bulk to your rifle or shotgun, if you will. But like I said, part of the genius is also the three-piece design here. As you can see here, you have your main arm, your cantilever mount, which holds your rings here, and some of the accessories you can get different sized rings to hold different lights on it. You can also get sections of like pick rail and other different attachments for depending on how and where you want to mount your weapon light. But you have this arm here that essentially bolts into the cantilever, and this is the part here that attaches to your pick rail section. So technically, with the different holes and mounting areas, you could essentially mount this 8 different ways on a standard Picatinny rail section here. Pretty much the main reason why I wanted to go with that is because, well, for one, I heard it had a good reputation, but this is kind of a cheapo light mount. This is just something I got off Amazon. It's also aluminum. I believe it's a Black Hawk, and it works. There's no doubt about that. It's definitely a good budget option. But if you can see here, it almost kind of gives the rifle, it's almost like it's like damn near half a set of pair of wings. It kind of comes out further than I would like. It is manageable, and it does give the light a pretty good placement for your thumb here to activate it off and on. The problem is that I was coming across was whenever I go out shooting, whether with this rifle, the good old adage, train as you would fight, practice how you would fight. So I usually wear, it's always got my sling on it, and I've always got my chest rig on. And I was running into the issue of, because this thing sticks out a little bit so far, I was catching it on gear. Whether if I was moving or walking or having to move to different locations, I'd have the rifle strapped a little bit tighter to the body, and I was catching it on straps, or one time I even catched it like on a mag pouch. Sometimes it'd get hung up with the sling because it's so far out there. So primarily the reason why I went with this HSP Thorntail mount is because, as you'll see here close up when I get this remounted, is that it keeps your light real close and real tight into your rifle, almost just pretty much just barely off to the side of your barrel, of the bore. And also, a lot of AR guys may not run into this problem because they've got so much real estate for mounting things. They've got a ton on the sides, on the top, on the sides, even the bottom, just depending on what kind of handguard forend setup you want to use. But for us AK guys, we're kind of limited. As I've said before in a few videos, definitely I think the best system to go with is the Ultimac, especially for when running a red dot. Well, once you get your red dot on here, you've got at least a good 4 or 5 inches of real estate to add whatever you need to, and it's pretty much essential on your fighting rifle to definitely have a light. So not only does this Thorntail mount keep it a lot closer and tighter along the bore of the rifle, it also pushes it out further. So as you can see here, with this cheap $5 mount, I can only get the light up to here, which it will work, and it's not that big a deal, but you do get a little bit of splashback from the light on your AK front sight post. So I wanted to move the light more forward and a lot closer in and tight. So we'll take this cheapie off of here, and we'll get this mounted up so you can see it. Alright guys, well there it is on kind of a side profile. Try to keep this from wobbling too much. As you can see there, it definitely mounts it a lot farther forward towards the front sight post, as well as a lot closer to the actual rifle. So it definitely hugs it in tight and moves it out forward. It's kind of, I guess, a little bit of a view from the other side. It's definitely low profile. I do like that. I like how it mounts it pretty much all the way forward to the front sight post, and definitely hugs hugs the barrel. So I think that's going to work out pretty well for me. I'll try to give you a little bit of a sight as looking down the rifle itself here. Okay guys, that's kind of the best I can do as far as lining up here. Hopefully you can see some detail here. But as you can see, like I said a few minutes ago, brings it in quite a bit, puts it at a little bit easier location, doesn't stick out quite as far, and I don't think it's going to be an issue as far as catching on too much gear anymore. Definitely I appreciate the fact that it moved it so far forward that I'm not feeling any kind of, or noticing any kind of splashback here really. So alright guys, appreciate you watching, and take it easy.